An Open Letter to the Right by Brian Andrews. I'm writing this letter to anyone who doesn't like me now because I either got too woke or got too political or should have just kept politics out of my music. You don't owe me anything, but I'd like you to give me the chance to tell you that you're right. I have changed, and I'd like to tell you why. Here it goes. Most people know that in 1955, a 14-year-old boy named Emmett Till was lynched in the state of Mississippi after he allegedly touched a white lady a few days before at a local store. The men who tortured, killed, and threw his body in the Tallahatchie River were later acquitted of all the charges by a jury of 12 white men. The woman who accused him and later admitted that she had lied just died in 2023 at the age of 88 years old. Now, today in 2026, I think we can all agree that what happened to that boy was absolutely abhorrent and pure racism. But here's something I bet you didn't know about that story. A local white student in that time was writing a paper on the case and interviewed 9 of the 12 jurors on that trial. Every single one of the jurors said that they knew those men had killed Emmett Till, but that the boy had it coming for touching a white woman. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, that's crazy, because even if he did touch that lady, which he didn't 4 days earlier, it had nothing to do with whether or not those men murdered him, and you would be right to think that. But that same thought begs the question, why is it true for then, but it's not true for now? Because, see, when George Floyd was murdered, they said he was high and disobeying orders, so he had it coming, even though we all saw the video of that officer with his knee in his neck for what felt like an eternity as he begged and pleaded, saying, "I can't breathe," over and over. When Renee Good was murdered, they said, oh, well, she was blocking the roadway and tried to run that guy over with her car, so she had it coming, even though we all saw that officer place himself in front of her vehicle and her start yanking her wheel to the right. When Alex Pretty was murdered, they said, well, 11 days earlier, he kicked a taillight out of a police vehicle and then showed up to that protest with a gun, so he had it coming. As if what he did 11 days earlier had anything to do with the day he was murdered, or like we didn't all see them disarm him before they shot him 10 times in the street. So it really makes me wonder, if we say those things now and they put us in Money, Mississippi in 1955, would we have stood up to and against that injustice, or would we have said he had it coming once again? Would we have said things like, well, he shouldn't have touched that lady? Or would we have called him an agitator and said, well, it's tragic that he died, but he just shouldn't have went to that store and put himself in that position in the first place? Would we have called him a domestic terrorist? Now, me and you, we may be different, because personally, I do lose sleep at night thinking about that answer, because I can't reconcile with the fact that I know that if I don't stand up to and speak out against the injustice that I see now, then I certainly wouldn't have then. So when I do see it now, I truly do believe that it is my duty and responsibility as an American to use my voice in every way that I am able, which includes writing songs that make us ask ourselves, are we great?